Chelsea fans, there are 3 things guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and beating Tottenham Hotspur. Easiest 6 points of the season every single season. What a game of football. Now look, it was a 1-0. We ground out the result come to finish. But in my personal opinion, that's some of the best that we've played as an overall performance in months, and it was so good to see. Games after the international break, usually teams are very sluggish and they look off the boil. We looked up from it from the first kick of the game. Jackson was unlucky. He hit the post within the first minute, and my God, have we missed Jackson. This is such a refreshing Chelsea. Yes, we should have killed this game off 2, 3, 4-0 at times, 100%. I am not disputing that. We are not clinical enough. However, we didn't crumble. We didn't capitulate. We didn't fold like deck chairs. We got the goal, we persevered, we got the goal, which was a great finish from Enzo Fernandez, who had a fantastic game in my opinion. We'll get onto him in a second. Cole Palmer with the assist. Will this get him out of his rut? He's finally showing that form again. And it's just a coincidence that Nicholas Jackson was back in the squad and Palmer looked a lot better because he had a lot more space throughout the game. Also playing Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham, they always play a high line, and very much like Maresca, we don't care who we face, we're playing the same football, mate. It doesn't work. They're 14th in the league. That you can see why. They were pants. And at times in that first half, first 20-25 minutes, we looked up for it. We weren't clinical enough, and we were trying to create chances, and we just looked up for it in the game. Spurs didn't really trouble us too much. Sanchez made some massive saves to keep us in the game. That has to be said. I'm not his biggest fan, we know this, but credit where it's due. He had a good game today. His distribution was actually pretty good, and he made some very good saves. He wasn't called upon too many times. When he did his job, and that's all we asked for. A clean sheet and a 3 points on the board. We're back in the Champions League spaces. If we'd have scored one more goal, we would have had better goal difference than City, but I'm not nitpicking. We're currently 4th. We started this international break with a tough game on paper. Historically, easy game. We always pick up the win against Spurs, but we have so much to talk about. This first half, Caicedo, what a machine. For me, Caicedo was clearly the man of the match. He put an unbelievable performance in today. First half, he takes a challenge. I think he lands a bit funny. He stays down, and we think, oh, that's not good. If he gets booked, he's banned for 2 games. I think he's got 3 games left of that, or 2 games technically now, of that 2-match ban if he gets booked. He stays down. He then gets up. He looks very uncomfortable. Starts hobbling around. And you think, well, he's going to come off. He don't look right. What are we going to do about Caicedo? He battles through. Puts on an unbelievable performance in that first half. He was everywhere. Stopping the play, making the right passes, connecting the play between defence and attack. Typical Caicedo performance. Second half, we concede a goal after going 1 up. I honestly don't understand how Sarr wasn't sent off for a blatant studs up knee-high challenge nowhere near the ball on Caicedo. He goes down, they run through, he scores a great goal. Sanchez, to be fair, should have saved it. It hit his arm, hit like his forearm and went in. Wild. However, it doesn't matter because it was chalked off and it went back to VAR. But how on God's green earth was that challenge only a yellow card? Cucurella also got booked in that whole sort of scenario for talking back to the ref. So you're telling me that dissent equals the same as a studs up challenge at the kneecap? Game's gone, mate. What? And it took so long for the VAR to review that scenario. You could see it from the first replay. Well, that's a red. Studs up, knee high, nowhere near the ball, takes him out, red card. A yellow was given. Wild. However, the most important thing about it is Caicedo was okay because he then got up and put on a man of the match performance. What an absolute warrior. He is going to be feeling it tomorrow. He is going to have to be having some ice baths today and tomorrow, mate. He's going to be bruised and battered, but what a player. Unbelievable player. And he was robbed of an absolute world-class finish. That volley, mate. What a well-taken goal. What a strike. Straight in the corner. All to be robbed because someone was offside by literally millimetres, which also took about 4.5 to 5 minutes to decide whether it was onside or not. Now, there's some arguing, if it takes that long to decide whether it's offside, just give the goal, because that's just 5 minutes. 5 minutes is wild. It's absolutely wild. We do have automated or semi-automated offsides coming in from the 12th of April. We're very interested to see how much that speeds the game up, but honestly, anything has to be quicker than that. 5 minutes. Wild. Now let's talk about the Enzo goal, because it was a very well taken goal. Good bit of play down that left-hand side. Cole Palmer with one of those traditional swingers that come in, and Enzo just rises up completely unmarked. Nice little header, sends the keeper the wrong way, 1-0. And we keep the pressure on, and obviously Caicedo doesn't get that second, but we just looked up for it. We looked like we were a cohesive team, and I think Enzo arguably was also a man of the match performance. He was absolutely fantastic tonight. Noni Madueke was great when he came on. Reece James was great when he came on. Gusto, for me, was a bit of a hit and miss performance. He wasn't great defensively, but going forward he seemed pretty good, and he was all right, kept trying to get them crosses in and stuff. The wingers, we need to talk about the wingers. Neto, I thought, was very unproductive today, and Sancho, well, my God. A lot of people saying he should have scored. It was 6 hours out, should have scored a goal. I get that. However, in this scenario, when you actually look at it, just to be on the fair side, what a save from the Spurs keeper. 6 yards out, and Sancho had a great first touch. It set up nicely, struck it well from close range. Keeper puts it over the bar. Fair play to him. He should be scoring, of course, but in that instance, you have to give credit to the keeper. Taking that, bearing that in mind and moving aside, Sancho just needs to shoot, mate. All he does is get in good positions and then shuffle, looks for a pass or loses the ball, when he could just shoot about 10 shuffles earlier and just make an attempt on goal. We don't care if it doesn't go in. We just want you to take a shot, because our wingers that we had with Neto and Sancho, they just got the ball and stopped, went backwards, sideways. On the rare occasion, Neto tried beating his man or Sancho tried beating his man, but then Sancho would beat his man and stop. Neto would beat his man and stop. I mean, what? It made no sense. But then when you had Cucurella or Gusto coming on that left-hand side, or when Palmer was drifting out on the left, they were beating their man, getting around, trying to cut that ball back, trying to create something. It is such a difference. When Noni Madueke came on, give me the ball, I want to run, I want to beat a player, I want to go drive down that right-hand side. Massive difference. Nicholas Jackson sets the tempo of this team. We missed him massively. So for every Chelsea fan that still hates Jackson, I'm hoping that today's performance shows you how much we've missed him during this injury period, because he sets the tempo, he's constantly pressing, he's given the opposition defence a nightmare because he's constantly moving and making those runs. I think he had a very good game today. He did, 75-80 minutes, which is more than what I expected after what Enzo Maresca said, saying he's not going to play the full 90. I thought it might be a 60-minute jobby and then shuffle around, but hey. Maresca today, in terms of his management, I feel like can't really say anything bad, because we got the 1-0, we didn't concede, got the 3 points, so in theory his game management worked very well, right? It went to plan. However, with 12 minutes of injury time in the second half, when you're 1-0 up and then you go 5 at the back and just soak up pressure for that 12 minutes and hope we don't concede, it's squeaky bum time. We know it's squeaky bum time. Luckily we did ride it out. I think Chalobah was absolute rock today. I think Colwell had a good game. I think Gusto, like I said, defensively wasn't great, offensively was good. He had moments at defence that was good, don't get me wrong, but his overall performance was okay. Cucurella fantastic as always again. We just looked good. Sanchez again, very reliable, distribution was good, exactly what we wanted from him. I think the only mistake he made, which was covered up, was the goal we conceded, because it hit him in the forearm and bounces up. I know the ball's got a lot of pace on it, but come on now. However, it was chalked off, so it doesn't matter. Overall, I'm just super happy. We're back in the top 4. We've beaten Spurs, which is always a good feeling. We kept a clean sheet. And Palmer's got an assist. Enzo scored a goal. Caicedo was unbelievable. Got robbed. Should have had that unbelievable volley as a goal. Other than that, what a night. What a return from international football. We know we've got this really mad run of games. Some really tough games in there. We've got Brentford away this Sunday. It is a tough game for us. Playing against Brentford, we don't have the best of records, home or away. So it'll be very interesting. But this is the momentum that we needed. And the biggest thing for me is, yes, we weren't perfect. There were times in this game where we could have been a lot better. Of course, I'm not just going to nitpick and crap all over this team at every given opportunity. I'm an optimistic fan that rides the wave, right? And it's just a good result for us tonight. What I will say is, coming back from an international break, I've seen over my lifetime of supporting Chelsea, normally these are the games we struggle the most with. Everyone looks lethargic and not up for it, but we were on it from the first kick of the game, and it's just so refreshing to see. I genuinely think having Noni back, having Jackson back, Fofana was a big miss today in terms of just not seeing him play. He picked up an injury, and same with Lavia. It would have been nice to see them get cameos all playing today. I think that would have just been the cherry on the cake. But having these key players coming back in for this run-in just gives us such a confidence boost. Enzo's playing the best football he has in a Chelsea shirt. Caicedo looks untouchable. Cucurella's been unbelievable. Palmer now got himself back on the GA, so hopefully he can start getting a bit more form because he's got someone like Jackson in front of him, creating space for him to be a creative player. The wide areas need improvement, but with Maresca coming back, I can see that changing. Oh, it's exciting times. It's exciting times. We're going to enjoy it. It's a nice 3 points on the board. Champions League spaces. We move. But that's just my opinion. I want to know what you guys think. Did you guys watch the game, or did you just watch the highlights? And do you agree with my match review? Very raw, very uncut, just giving my thoughts straight after the game. Curious to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I love having a conversation with you guys. And if you have made it this far to the end of the video, there'll be a thumbnail on the screen. So if you do enjoy Chelsea content, make sure you click our thumbnail. You should enjoy that video too.